Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Genshin Impact. To be precise, this is the Chinese PC version of Genshin Impact. The global version will be launching on 28th of September, but the Chinese PC players gets 2 weeks head start to test out some of the content. You can call it testers, like testing things out. But this is the next game that I want to feature in my channel. It's not that I would ditch Arknights and only focus on Genshin Impact. I want to have both of them. And I think it is really nice that I can have another game that I can put out more content of. It's not like I don't want to make more content. It's just that I find it difficult to try to milk out every single part of a game. I feel like I'm those kind of person that likes to lead people into thinking on their own, and then hence I only usually talk about like what I think is important to know, and then I let people discover the rest of the game. And that's what to me is the most fun in a game. That's pretty much why I rarely output any videos. And now there's a second game, more content. Hooray. So this will be a series of video where I want to go through like things like character progression, daily grind, what you want to rush at the start, and things like that. But this video is none of those. Before I talk about any of those more practical stuff, I want to talk about what I think of this game, some of the criticisms I've seen of the game. A lot of people are praising the game, but what is actually behind, my experience from closed beta, and some things like that. And also I want to address like some of like the more complaints I've heard, like the complaints I've heard a lot about, and there's mainly 2 of them. Right? So the first one I want to talk about is this game is an open world mobile game, and there's a lot of people complaining about how this game isn't even actual open world. When you open the map, like you see all these red areas, like they can't imagine how they're bounding the players by all these red things. These are like probably like level lock, like you can't go through them until you're a certain level. That is completely not true. These are just areas that aren't even done yet. There's no content there, and there's no point going through there. There is a bit of an area that is locked behind story though, but story bound area and level bound area is completely different. So technically speaking, it is still an open world. Wondered why I started at this place, like top of a church? It's because I wanted to show you guys this. This vast land is the world that you can travel to anywhere. You can climb, you can jump, you can glide. Yes, gliding is a thing. Some of you might say it's Breath of the Wild clone. I would say no. I would say the gaming experience is completely different. And this is a very good game as a mobile game. Especially how, like, this is the first time I've seen such a vast open world in a mobile game that you can travel freely. It's a very awesome game, and I think this is a huge step that they've leaped forward as of mobile gaming. But what do I have to complain about this then, right? I said that I'm gonna clear out some of the complaints, and then I want to talk about some of the things that I don't like. So this is a mobile game, right? And there's a lot of content that they still haven't created, like all these areas in the map. And how they want to keeping the players into the game is not like, oh, release as many content out as quick as possible. They can't really do that. There's development period. Are they going to release a lot of events? Probably. But what they're doing right now effectively is limiting story quests behind account levels. So this, as you can see, is one of the quests that I have to take on next, and it requires adventure rank 10. While my account is still on adventure rank 9. By the way, this is like 1 hours into the game. I'm still really early because I've been really busy in the game, in real world, so I can't really play the game as much. But I really don't like how they actually bind content behind character level. It's not areas. You can still freely explore the world. It's just that for a newbie, okay, they come into the game, they don't know what to do, and then they go through a bit of a story, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's it for you now, that's it for the story now. You have to wait for level 10 to get the next story. And what do you do now? You're like, oh, I just have to explore the world, and I don't know where I need to go. And sometimes it can get a bit confusing. Like, I still remember how in the first day I was playing the game, I really didn't know where I wanted to go. I just ran randomly to all kinds of places, and then that was pretty much it. I just gradually leveled up, and I think that's what they're aiming for as well. But to some people, this is not the best experience. I think they could have done it better, as in like not limit the story to account level, but rather make the world a bit more, you know, interesting to explore. And there is a lot of like game design stuff, so I'm not like a pro in game design, so I can't really say anything about that. But I would say that this doesn't feel like the best possible experience, that is, but it is a mobile game, and I can forgive that, and I understand it. It's just that, yes, I understand that why some people will complain about it. But as you can see, this is a very well-built game for a mobile game, that is. If you're comparing to like Assassin's Creed, Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously you're comparing it to the wrong type of games, okay? That's my statement here. Yes, it is not fair to say, oh, because this is on another platform, hence it doesn't have to be on the same standard. I'm not saying so. But you have to think of what type of a game it is, right? It's not a AAA title where you pay a one-time fee and then you can play onwards, or maybe sometimes even if it's a full price game, you still have to pay some extra, you know, microtransactions to unlock some skins, some experience boost, whatever. It's not one of those games. This is a free-to-play game, and you truly can play it as a free-to-play. Now, here's the second. This links to the second complaint I hear a lot about, and it is somewhat understandable, but not to the extent that people are complaining about it. And that's the gacha part. You can call it loot boxes, you can call it surprise mechanics, whatever you'd like to call it, but literally, this game, if you want to pull a 5-star, the chance to get a 5-star is 0.6%. Okay, let's put it out straight. This is like the worst I have ever seen. The worst I have ever seen in any mobile game I've ever played, even though it guarantees a 5-star item once every 90 pulls, so there's a pity system in place, but there's more to it. That 0.6% is shared between characters and weapons. So the official statement says that the 5-star characters is 50% of the 0.6%, the weapon is the other 50%. So if you combine that, you're looking at 0.3% chance to get a 5-star character. And that is really bad. But currently in the Chinese servers, there's a lot of people complaining about, oh, miHoYo is so freaking greedy. They are like, people are spending thousands of dollars and they can't get this specific character. Her name is Keqing. She is like one of the waifu characters that you can see on one of the trailers in the English YouTube channel right now. And people really want her. I really like her as well. I think she's a great looking waifu. And people are like spending thousands of US dollars and not getting her. And they're saying, oh, miHoYo is so freaking greedy. This is such a bad game. Like, worst design ever. To me, it felt weird. Because if you look carefully, it says standard wish, which is pretty much your standard banner in a lot of games. And let me ask you, right? If you pull, let's say, I'm not going to name names, But let's say if you want to pull a 5-star servant in a certain 1% chance game, I didn't name names, but like in the standard banner, and you're asking for like, oh, I'm going to get 5-star Shokatsu Kome from 5-star banner, like from the standard banner. I want to get him, and I spend thousands of dollars and I don't get him. Trash game. Does that make sense? No. Like, standard banner is spread between so many characters, and yes, the chance is already very low, but even though you're looking at 1/5, and do I need to tell you how? Do I need to tell you about the statistics of how low of a chance that is, or how high of a chance that is to not get a specific character with that chance? I don't think I need to tell you guys that. It is very low, okay? So I think those people who's complaining about how they're spending thousands of dollars and not getting, that's the wrong kind of complaint that should be out there. But saying that 0.6% is really bad, I can agree with. So that's the standard banner. What about the grade up banners that we're all familiar with? Grade up banners, for every 5-star, there's a 50% chance for you to get the grade up character. That's not it. So let's say you do 90 pulls and get your first 5-star. You didn't get the grade up character. The second guaranteed that you pull, the second guaranteed 5-star that you pull, that will equate to 180 pulls in total. You're guaranteed to get the 5-star grade up character or whatever it is, right? So 180 pulls to guarantee the grade up item. How much is that in cash is the problem. So if I go to here, you can see that the first time purchase I get double the crystals, but the second time I would get 80, so 8,080 gems crystals, which converts into 8,080 gems, and each pull is 160 gems. So roughly speaking, 50 pulls per 100 bucks. So 180 pulls roughly translates to 360 bucks. Your purchase is literally selling you a character for 360 bucks. That's a lot. I'm not saying it's not nothing, but is it a few $1,000s and not getting one bad? It's not. Alright? I'm not saying this is good, but it's not that bad. So that's the second thing addressed. Now, why do I say this is not a problem though? To me, this really isn't a problem, because you're like, oh, I want to get I would really need to get a 5-star character to play the game, right? This game is like, has to be free, has to be like really pay to win. First of all, this game is not pay to win. There is no PvP content whatsoever. Second of all, a character's strength does not really depend on the stars. Yes, at the end, the 5-star characters maxed out. By the way, if you want to max out a certain character, you have to pull them 7 times. So that's like $2,500. If you're that much of a whale, I think it is fair for you to get some advantage. But there is no PvP, so it's not even pay to win. Instead, once you reach Adventure rank 16, you can unlock co-op. Yes, it's more about co-op than actual pay to win. So if you have a friend that tends to whale a lot, hey, you got a free companion that can carry you through content. And if they want to have an easier life by spending a lot of money, it is their choice. But 4-star characters and even these free characters like Amber, she is the first archer character that you will be getting. And in closed beta, I used Amber a lot, pretty much till mid-game-ish. I got to Adventure rank 30-ish around, and Amber was still doing very well. I can't really talk about the end game because I never really reached end game, but from what I can tell, these 3 characters are good enough for you to clear whatever content you want. If you want it to be the top of the top, some spending, but there is no competition here, right? Now, how strong a character is really depends on a few things. first, obviously the stars, right? There is still some effect, but the character progression, like the weapon, the artifacts, which is pretty much equipment in this game that you put on them, all the combos between different characters, those I will be talking about in a future video, probably the third video of the series. That I'll be talking about character progression, combos, and all that stuff. So if you're interested in any of those, feel free to subscribe. But as I said, 4-star characters, 3 characters works just fine. So I don't see a reason why you must get a 5-star character, unless in some situation where like Kachin, which is really nice looking, and I really want her as well. I'm sorry. Saying all that crap and I still really want her. Okay, but I think you get the point, right? This is a great game as a mobile game. I think this is a great step in the right direction. We are increasing the quality of mobile gaming, and genuinely, I think this is a great game that you should definitely try out. It is free to play anyway, and it will be available on PC, mobile, and console. And PC and mobile can actually link their accounts, so you can play the same account on your PC and your mobile. By the way, I really recommend playing on PC because archers can zoom in and aim, and personally speaking, aiming with a mouse is the best choice for me. I don't know about you, maybe you prefer console. Like, I'm not one of those console players who can aim with a freaking joystick. I can't do that. So playing on the PC is really nice. The graphics looks a bit better as well, as you can see. You're not gonna get this kind of graphics on mobile, like on your phone. But yeah, in general, I think this is a great game. If you can, give it a try. 28th of September again. And that's it for this video. If you're interested in any of those future videos where I'll be talking about the daily grinds that you should do and how long they will take, what you should do when you first start the game, like what you should prioritize, and something like the character progression thing that I've talked about, I would definitely recommend you to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!